Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrott, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing News. Oh, the 125th episode of the Nightwing News. That's right. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
125. If this was the 90s, it'd have like a holographic cover. Foil or something. But it's a good episode because tonight we're covering the new issue, Nightwing 87, and New Titans 71, our classic. See, we're completely opposite. I have this one in the other one in yes. All right, kids. So yeah, got some new, got some old, got it all.
Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Something blue.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get to the new issue, Nightwing 87.
Yeah.
Once again, the art on this is great. And just like when I open this up, like the in the beginning where you get like the creator credits and stuff on those first couple pages, does it almost look like almost like the credits you get like on a TV show or so, like if that was like the screen, like the credits you'd get on the screen at the beginning.
Yeah, it does a little bit, yeah.
But yeah, I love the art, and again, kids, this is the one where it's just straight across the whole time. We don't go left in this the whole time. We keep going.
That. So. Yeah, it was cool. So I've only read it digitally so far, so I haven't seen it in the. Yeah. I don't know. You haven't bought more than one copy and tried to piece it together yet, have you, Phil?
No, I just picked it up today now. And again, if you wanted to lay this out all together, yeah, you'd have to buy two because it is front and back pages.
I mean, at least two, probably, right?
Well, yeah. Oh, I'd buy three: one to keep and read, and yeah, and two if I wanted to put it together. Because yeah, like I said, it's front and back, so there's no way you could lay this out with just one copy. All right, so yeah, so Dick's on his way to a meeting about public housing when Barbara calls him and says, "Hey, there's a price on your head."
And at first he's not worried, but then then she tells him the price is on Dick Grayson, not on Nightwing. And he's like, "Oh,
because he's like, yeah,
that's a wrinkle."
He's like, a lot of people have been after me. He's like, no, this is about Dick Grayson.
And they know where you live because you did the press conference in front of your house.
Yeah. And he's like, they're opening fire in broad daylight. He must be a big price. And she goes, $10 million.
He says, yeah, that is a lot.
That's a lot of wanting me dead.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So yeah, they show him coming down these steps, then going up the fire, changing while jumping up the fire escape.
Yep.
And again, keep going right, kids. So he says he has to get home, and Barbara's like, no, they all know where you live. And he's like, no, the alarm's going off. Someone is already in there.
Already there.
He's like, I know she's in there. And Barbara says, get home. Oh yeah,
and we see.
I love that. Well, yeah, the credits. Nightwing, get Grayson.
Yep.
Like episode 87, get Grayson.
Yep. And he manages. Oh yeah, he does manage to get into his apartment. He busts in through the winded skylight.
Yep, and they just coming down the stairs, kicking these guys, and then leaping up through the fire escape or the skylight. But yes, they've taken Haley.
Take his dog.
But he calls her Haley and Bitewing.
Yeah, no, that was funny. Well, I feel like he calls her Bitewing because that's her secret name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Haley is Dick Grayson's dog. Bitewing is Nightwing's dog.
Exactly. Yeah, I love this. Him just leaping across the building as they're shooting at him, and he comes down on the van.
Yep.
He takes out one van or two, but then one of them is getting away. Then
and then we have this concerned citizen who says, "Take my bike." Really? Yeah, you saved my parents once, and I like both of them. He says, "Thanks."
I like both of them.
Yeah, that was great.
So Dick says he's gonna let them get a little out of eyesight, and she's like, "Don't lose them." And he says, he's like, "No, I have a tracker in Haley's collar."
That's right.
And Barbara's on her way also. Because I forget, is it towards the end but doesn't Barbara call it their dog? She's like, our dog.
Yeah, so she says, Nightwing asks, what are these people under investigation for? And she says, pretty much everything. They're dangerous people.
Yes.
And he says, you know who's more dangerous? And Barbara says, us when someone has taken our beautiful puppy. Exactly.
Oh, like they're chowed.
Exactly.
Come on, kids. We're painting up to that wedding. Come on. Issue 100. Come on.
And they bust in.
Yeah, because Barbara shows up, and then they both go in together.
And I feel like that was kind of a smart move because it's sort of like, why would Nightwing? I mean, you could obviously explain it as, oh, I heard there was this hit on Dick Grayson, and so I wanted to come and protect this nice guy who's trying to protect Bloodhaven. But also, people could be like, why does Nightwing show up when we're stealing Dick Grayson's dog? Yeah, but if both Nightwing and Batgirl bust in, you know Batgirl's not. So, yeah, like, I feel like it helps keep the secret identity secret.
Plus, if you're pulling any kind of shady stuff in Bloodhaven, you have to kind of expect Nightwing's going to show up.
Right, but...
So, okay, my question, why are they taking Haley? Were they going to, try to, I don't know, get Dick to come?
Well, I'm thinking maybe it's bait that they were thinking, we have your dog and we're going to... And then, I do like that. Are you threatening a puppy? That is cartoonishly evil.
Mm-hmm. And then he hits him with one of the clubs. And I don't know, does the guy throw her out the window, or does he just fall in?
Yeah, well, I think he has an open window behind him, and he's like, Wah! And kind of loses the gun and loses his balance, and she kind of gets flung out the window.
Yeah, and Dick goes after her. But yeah, because he says again, my parents and I used to sword, then I watched them fall. Since that day, I've tried to catch everyone.
Catch his Bitewing. And she looks very happy. Arf!
Oh, yeah. I like that last page, yeah. I like this story, but I got that page, and it seemed kind of abrupt because it doesn't say the end or anything. There's an ad, and then it just goes to that,
then it goes to the Happy Holidays. Yeah, I feel like this was a very good... It was a good issue, but I'm really glad that they did that cool thing where, it's just one long continuous sequence, because this is clearly a filler issue. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's definitely, okay, we set up and then we had to take a break from what we had set up with Heartless and getting the money to do Fear State. Mm-hmm. And it's like they had one, and the way that worked out, we have one issue left for 2022. And so it seems kind of like, what are we going to do with that? And so this kind of makes sense as it'll obviously help set up what's going to happen in the rest of the stuff, afterwards. But also, this was like feels like it was kind of a filler. So it's nice that they did something unusual with the art in it to kind of elevate it from just average issue to above average issue.
And I mean, it's not necessarily like a holiday story, but it is like a heartwarming story, so it kind of works for December.
Right. But it's like not a lot really I mean, the idea that people would be out to get Dick Grayson and that they recognize that what he's trying to do in Bloodhaven is a big deal. I mean, it's good that, that the story is useful in setting that whole idea up, but I feel like in terms of the big plot over what's going to happen, this story is not that instrumental. So that's why it's nice that they did something unusual with the art because, like I said, it makes it cooler and more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, unless they like try to do stuff like this every December, because last December wasn't it that Dan Jurgens one? That, it was like one of the first ones after Rick Grayson. It was kind of like a holiday one, sort of.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean that could be. They did kind of try to do holiday ones, back in the day, but that's when you would pretty much wrap a story up every issue, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, and you don't want to like age these characters by doing like a Christmas issue like every year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't the most. It was like it wasn't like a complicated story. It was a nice one and done. The art is beautiful. So, and they kind of told us this is what we were getting. It's like, hey, it's gonna be the thing where it just scrolls to the right the whole time.
Right, and so I think it was nice of them to. It's really a relatively simple story, so it was cool that they tried to kind of push the boundary with the art because that's something that is such an intrinsic part of comics that it's not of a lot of other mediums, and so that's cool.
But I do like what they did with the art. It's like first page we start with the like Dick's back to us, and then the rest of the issue scrolls to the right, but we zoom in and out with that camera. Like when he's on the street, we're further away, but then once they bust into that warehouse or whatever, it zooms in. And then last page, the opposite of the first page, we see the front of them.
Yeah.
So
it's cool, and like it's useful, like I said, to kind of help us understand what's going to come in the future for why, this helps give us, oh yeah, this is going to be a really big deal in Bloodhaven, what Dick's trying to do. But it also, the art really elevates it from just being like a filler issue, I would say, to being a really cool issue.
And I love when Barbara was like saying, oh, the FBI wants these guys, so maybe they may, unlike the Bloodhaven cops, maybe the FBI will actually arrest these guys.
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, so big A+.
Although we're not sure what happens because they end it when they get their puppy back.
Like I said, I like the story, but it seemed to end abruptly. Yeah, he swings out, he grabs Haley, and then like the two of them swing away with Haley, and that's like
Yep. I guess because if it's supposed to be one continuous image, you can't be like, the next day the FBI arrested them.
I know, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I was just waiting for him to say something that made it seem more final, but I was like, oh, wait. Well, I guess that was last
Yeah,
night.
well, and it felt a little bit shorter than usual, actually.
Maybe.
I'm not sure if it was, but...
Or maybe just because it went quicker because of the way they did the art.
Yeah, that might have been.
Because, again, I mean, there's not a lot of text. It's more art than text in this.
Right, yeah, that's true. But it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like in January, we're really going to get back into Dick trying to fix Bloodhaven.
Oh, they're going to be revving up because, we're about, a year out from issue 100, so.
Well, and I think next issue is when they bring the finger stripes back, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Woo!
So that'll be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. All right, so like I said, your usual A.
Sure. I'm feeling generous. It's the end of the semester.
I mean, you don't have to, but I'm just saying. I don't know. It doesn't seem like you were too impressed with this issue.
Well, I feel like for me, it felt like if it hadn't had the cool art thing, like if they hadn't been doing something different with the art, I would have been like, this issue is not that much. Because not very much happened.
Yeah. And
it feels to me like very much a filler issue, that it's like stuff happened and we're gearing up and we just have this 1 month in between that we need to do something. And that while what's going on with the dog isn't like, it's good for us to know that because it will help us understand what's going to happen to Dick in the future. Like, we didn't need it to be an entire issue.
Maybe we did a fill in because maybe, I don't know, Tom Taylor or somebody has a count, because again, we just came out of future state. So it's like, maybe in 2022, we're going to get, like a 6-month arc and another 6-month arc or something. And it's,
yeah. I feel like it probably has to do with fear state throwing things off and that kind of thing. So I feel like this was an excellent opportunity for them to try with the art. And so, I would say that it's the different kind of art thing, how it's just one big continuous panel that elevates it. And if they hadn't done that, it would be like a issue.
It was a nice palate cleanser. We're coming out of fear state. We're not going to jump. I mean, we kind of jump back into the Bloodhaven action, but not like really. It's like, oh, hey, it just hit me. Oh, yeah. Doesn't he supposedly have a sister out there? Oh, yeah. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah.
Damn fear
It's
state.
like if you didn't read this issue, you'd be fine. You wouldn't miss anything, really.
Yeah. Or if this is like, if you're just jumping into Nightwing, this would be maybe a nice jumping on point. Because they kind of just give you a quick, hey, Alfred left me a lot of money. I'm trying to use it to help the city.
And it's making people mad, yeah.
And hey, I have a dog.
Yup. Haley/Bitewing.
That's right. All right. So do you want to get to the new Titans?
Now we go to Disco Wing. Yeah.
That's right. All right. So, yes, New Titans number 71.
So, speaking of jumping on points, I feel like this actually would have been a pretty good jumping on point.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it was like, I mean, we'll get there, but it kind of feels like it was a bridging thing between what came before and what was coming up next. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Was there any significant reason you picked this issue, or were you just like, ooh, I like that cover?
I
mean,
yes, I like that cover.
Yeah.
I like that the whole thing is basically filtered through Nightwing. Yeah. So he's kind of talking about, Corey's helped me grow as a person, blah blah blah. And how he takes care of the little girl. But I also love this. That this is the panel where sometimes people on the internet are like, Dick is a Disney princess. and this is one of the panels they use where a bird just lands perfectly on his windowsill and he gives it some bird scene and it hangs out with him. That was funny.
So this is it opens up with them coming back from somewhere.
Yeah, from a mission.
Beginnings, endings, and we promise new beginnings. Man, this is weird. Seeing because Dawn is talking about her and Terry going to Greece the next day over on the Green Lantern podcast, where we're at this point. Donna and Terry are in the middle of their divorce and having their custody battle and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everything's still happy in this one.
Yeah, because she was starting to date. She's just starting to date Cal Rayner, and she's like, "Oh, my ex-husband is trying to get custody of my son."
Lord Chaos or whatever.
Yeah.
So also, I think this one cracks me up because this is one of the earlier examples of how Dick is wearing all of these goofy outfits so he can hang out with Corey.
Oh yeah, he's wearing like that red wig or like redhead wig and like a
He
mustache.
looks really terrible in that outfit.
Well, I mean that's the point.
Right, I know, but like he's wearing that wife beater and stuff.
Again, all you need is like some superficial disguise. I mean, you're standing next to a literal model. It's like, okay,
I know, but
an alien model. It's like, no one's looking at him.
I know, but it's just funny. I'm like, God, your outfit's so gross.
I wonder if people are just like, oh hey, I guess that's Nightwing in disguise.
I don't know. I think there's a later issue where people are like, oh, that Coriander, she has so many men in and out of her life. Because, this is the 90s and people are really judgy.
Well, and yeah, well, and two, it'd be like she's an alien, and it works different where she comes from.
Also, I love that Dick goes to get ice cream and he's like, vanilla, no wait, make that chocolate chip. Like he's like, whoa, I'm going crazy. I'm gonna get chocolate chip ice cream.
I know. I was gonna say like he doesn't burning thousands and thousands of calories a day.
Right, but I mean, it's just funny how he's like, I'm serious, but I'm gonna cut loose and eat chocolate chip ice cream. What? You're like, whoa, Dick, slow down.
And they were so in the branding in this era. It's like not only is their headquarters a giant T, but like those boats they like leave the island on are T's also.
Wait. Oh yeah, you're right. It's like a little T float. And yeah, then so how it's like a jumping off point, he's kind of thinking, he kind of gives a quick, flashback of Corey and how, she was captured by the Gordanian slavers and this kind of thing.
And then how they met. Yeah, so this will be a good jumping on point. I think this was the point of it. It's like, yeah, this is how these two met.
Right. Well, and then also it's supposed to be 3 years. So this is November 1990. So and they basically got started with New Teen Titans almost exactly 10 years ago. So 10 real people years has been 3 years in their world.
Yeah, I was trying to do the math. Isn't he? So by that math, isn't he supposed to be like 20 or 21 here?
I think he'd be 21, yeah, because they started when he was 18, because remember, he quit college. So.
But then he sees that.
Plus, because sometimes they show the Titans drinking, like having a champagne toast. Yeah. And I think when they were originally doing that in the 80s, you only had to be 18 to drink. But by the 90s, I'm pretty sure you had to be 21. So. Because it was in the 80s that the drinking laws changed.
Yeah.
So.
And he sees that little girl out on the ledge.
Yep.
So he throws off his disguise as he's racing up the stairs. Yep. So where was he hiding?
It was a gross disguise.
Where was he hiding his costume if he was wearing that wife beater?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's in the ice cream cone. Maybe it's in his pocket. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. At least the shirt and the collar, because.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's magic. Maybe he has a little flash ring like Wally.
So yeah, he runs up to this woman's apartment, and I love how she's like, "Don't go near my baby. You're the one who let her crawl out on the
right.
ledge."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, she'll fall." And he's like, "No, I'll get her."
Like, let me tell you a story about a space princess. And then as he's telling the story about Corey, we see Corey going down to save an old woman, and it's a trap. It's not an old woman, and they capture her.
Yep. Yeah, they drug her. It looks like they drug her or something.
Yep, and it's the wildebeest who will be involved in future issues. Then we have this amazing bit. Dick brings a little girl in, and she says, I want to be just like you. Then work to do your best. That's the only secret I have. I always try to do the best I can. He says, maybe if I do, I can become a lady Nightwing? Hey, stranger things have happened. And in his thoughts, is this the beginning of another Tim Drake?
Boy, see how he thinks of Tim.
No, he likes Tim. Then you see how he talks about how Tim is so smart and stuff later on when he's taking a shower.
Oh, but the little girl falls and he catches her.
Mm-hmm.
So see, even how many decades later, he's still catching people.
That's right. That's what he does.
Aww. Yeah, so he hands the girl to the mother, and now she's all happy.
She's going to try to be a lady Nightwing. Then we have Vic's backstory while Dick is making some pasta, which I will say, I don't understand why he's making himself spaghetti when they're having a dinner party later in the day, but whatever.
But he walks up, he changes back into those clothes, but he doesn't put the disguise back on, maybe because he's not with Corey, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Since he's not with Corey, it doesn't really matter. And then we see Vic getting captured.
Well, yeah. Well, he's thinking again about like Vic's origin and Raven. So yeah, so they were definitely painting this as
Well, it's supposed to be a little bit of a retrospective because it's their anniversary.
But again,
it's their 3-year anniversary.
It's a nice jumping on point too. But yeah, we see these troops in like armor, like capturing Vic. Basically, have to bring this building down to stop him. Oh yeah, there's the scene. Yeah, Dick's making his food, and then the bird shows up on the.
Yep. Well, hello there, an out-of-towner, eh? You can't be a native New York bird. Nothing raised in this city trusts anything else. Puts out the seed, and then you see the bird still eating.
He's getting all introspective. You know, the Titans helped to find me. I'm no longer the bottom half of Batman and.
Now he says, I don't feel like an adult yet, but I think I've grown up. I hear you there, Nightwing. I hear you there.
I certainly don't make rash decisions anymore.
Yep. Says he wouldn't quit college just to rebel against Bruce. Tim won't make the same problem. Except doesn't Tim drop out of high school? I don't know why that's a different conversation. I don't know why the writer had him do that. That just didn't make sense at all.
He's thinking about Tim asking.
It was very not Tim.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tim's asking all the right questions. He respects Bruce, but he doesn't seem he'll keep silent if Bruce is wrong. Dick says, I wish I was as bright as he is at his age.
Here we are trying to paint it, how smart Tim is. Well, of course, was this Marv Wolfman's writing this? I think it was Marv who created Tim, so it's like, of course, he's going to be like, hey, look how smart this Robin I created is.
Right, but I think it's also supposed to be a sign that from what I've read, one of the big things that they thought would be important with getting the fans to like Tim was they wanted to show Dick accepting Tim. So I think it's also Dick is saying, wow, that Tim, he's really great. So I think also.
And they wanted to set him apart too. They wanted to be like, he's really bright, but he's not at least right at this point, he's not as physical as Dick or any of the others.
But so I think it's also like they want to establish that Dick likes Tim and respects Tim and wants Tim to be Robin, kind of thing.
He's not Jason.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although Dick accepted Jason, but maybe it was too little too late.
Yeah, I think their impression was people didn't like Jason, and so they thought, not necessarily, I think they thought that if they made it really obvious that Dick accepted Tim, that would help the fans.
Yeah. Because Jason just kind of swooped in, even if it was unintentional. Meanwhile, with Tim, it's like, at first he went to Dick and's like, Batman needs you back. And Dick's like, no, I can't go back. You can do it, though.
Right. Dick's like, I'm not a child anymore. I can't be Robin, which of course makes sense.
So basically, So even though it was Tim who put everything in motion, they kind of painted it where it's like Dick, actively picked his successor. He's like, yes, you can be Robin.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then he takes a nap in the middle of the day.
Bats need the night. Robins need light.
Yep. About Raven. While at the same time, we see Raven getting trapped by some weirdo guy that apparently is sheer insanity and has no soul.
Yep. She cares almost too much. She definitely trusts too much. But yeah, they set a trap for her. Is it like a cannibal or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
At least it's some kind of killer or something.
Yeah, and Wildebeest says he has no soul. And then we're back at Titan's Tower where Dick is woken up. Well, he went to his apartment. Now he's woken back up and gone back to Titan's Tower to work out. Then he's looking at Joey's paintings. Then we get a narrative about Joey.
Yep.
And then we get Dick being the grown up in the room and doing the accounting for the Teen Titans.
And Joey's the ladies' man.
Right, yep, and Joey getting trapped by the wildebeest while he's out dancing.
Basically just gasses him, yeah.
And then it's Dick doing the accounting. And while he's doing the accounting, he's like, Steve Dayton's not, completely funding us anymore. So I'm checking the money. Then he thinks about Gar. And then we see Gar is at the opera and he doesn't like it.
But Dick mentions Titans figurines, man. Man, they need to sell those.
For real.
Hey, I saw something online. I guess they're coming soon. You might be able to pre-order them. It's like a Funko set, but it's like Captain America, like different costumes and stuff. They should do that with Nightwing. Do like all the different costumes. Yeah, start with Disco Wing and work up the finger stripes. Like a 4 or 5 figure set. But yeah,
then Gar's attacked at the opera with some kind of drug or something that makes him just like uncontrollably changing.
Boy, this thing, you can tell the age on this thing. Yeah, his his girlfriend want to go to the New Kids on the Block concert.
Yeah, gosh, I don't even know who she'd be picking now. Like at the end of the 90s, it would have been Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, but
what's that one band now? Was that BTS or something?
Oh yeah, BTS, that'd be a good choice, Yeah, you're right. And then Dick is like, "Oh, I'm about to be late for our party."
So yeah,
he shows up and nobody else is there.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't hear any music, and the guy's like, well, you were the first to arrive. It's like I thought maybe you guys.
And the time keeps passing, so he's like, okay. So he starts calling people on a payphone, which again dates it because now he'd have a cell phone.
Yeah.
And finally, he calls Steve Dayton, and Steve Dayton's like, something happened to Gar, and boom, Wildebeest shows up at the same time.
Yeah.
However, it kind of looks like Wildebeest just beats Dick up and leaves him there.
Yeah, maybe he underestimated him, maybe.
It looks like he doesn't take him with him.
Well, I don't know. Does it look like does he drop like some of the ceiling or something on him? I don't know if he thinks
and then maybe he's underneath the table or something.
Yes, I don't know if Wildebeest just thinks he killed him. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems like it might be it.
He kind of backcans him, but then he's misses when he's down, but yeah, he brings this roof down on him.
Yeah, it's like plenty of detail, and with you down, victory is guaranteed. So I think he must be, and it's been a while since I've read what comes afterwards, but I think the plot, per usual, is he needs everybody except Dick because he wants to somehow like suck away their meta powers or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I don't need to, Nightwing. He's just a regular human. I need everybody else so that I can put them in my machine and somehow steal their powers away.
I forget if it's on the schedule or not, but yeah, eventually we'll have to get back to this. Yeah, because the last page we see Steve Dayton's like, yeah, I can't get a hold of the Justice League or Batman. So he's like, oh, I'm going to hire you. And who is it? Yeah, of course, it's Deathstroke.
But Deathstroke says, you don't need to hire me. They took my kid too.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm in.
Yeah, they got Joey, so yeah.
So as he says, this time it's personal. So that's that. Also, in mind, they have this advertisement. This must be when the Robin debuted. The Robin series.
Yeah, it might be one of the minis. What was it? Oh no, that might be the ongoing series. Yeah, because what was that? 93.
Well, this is 1990.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I think didn't the Nightwing come out? Well, maybe Nightwing came out in 95.
Yeah, Tim had Tim had 3 miniseries, and then like his ongoing spun out of like Nightfall.
Right, yeah, that's true. Well, Nightfall started in 92, didn't it? So maybe this is a mini. Maybe in 90 this is a mini series.
Yeah, well, like his issue 1 picked up from a Detective Comics where he was getting choked out by Jean Paul.
I'll look it up quick.
As Batman. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. 90. Yeah, yeah, because I'm trying to remember because Robin 2 might have been 91 or 92.
Yeah, okay. So on the app, Robin, the thing says 1993 to 2009. So yeah, it looks like
yeah, it might be the ongoing.
There was in 1991 there was a Robin that was 5 issues.
Mm-hmm. That was the first
one.
So
yeah, you're right. It must be one of the it must have been one of the miniseries.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we're getting close to the date where Batman 500 where Dick shows up for like 2 or 3 pages and asks Tim, he's like, what's going on? He's like, and he, Tim tells him Bruce has his back broken. He's like, yeah, but Batman's in the news. And that's when Tim tells him about how he picked Jean Paul to replace him. And Dick's not too happy.
Dick's like, this is a knife to my heart. Why would Bruce be so mean to me?
I mean, he doesn't vocalize it at the time. They say that for Prodigal, but yeah.
Right. But it's kind of like, ouch, man. Very ouch.
But then meanwhile, when he needed help at the end of Nightfall, yeah, he calls Dick for help. And we were forwarding Nightwing back into the Bat books.
Yep. So true, so true.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We have at least a few episodes this year with the new Titan stuff. So
yeah, because I picked some of it for the Deathstroke stuff.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. I might have picked 1 or 2 also. So yeah, we got a few things coming up. 2022 is gonna be hot, kids.
You know it.
All right. Any other thoughts on this one?
I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say
like I said, please read it solely for Dick feeding the birds and having his Disney princess moment. It's amazing.
Exactly. And again, it sets up a lot of stuff.
It's true. It does.
All right. So should I give the kids the homework?
Yes.
All right. Well, next episode, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you'll get it. We'll have to record ahead an episode or 2. But next week on the podcast, you'll hear Robin and Batman, the 3-issue miniseries, the new one. And then in 2 weeks, which we'll be covering soon, Nightwing, The Target. And yeah, that'll be January already.
Or that'll be the whole month, right?
Yep.
Time is flying.
Exactly. It always flies when you're doing something fun like Nightwing News.
That.
Recording it, listening to it. All right,
Living
kids.
it.
That's right. All right, kids. So send your thoughts, anything we covered tonight or any of the upcoming stuff. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Go join the Bloodhaven Bulletin, our Facebook fan group. You can watch this episode or any episode of the Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks on our YouTube channel. Find a link to that. Most importantly, if you can, our butler did not leave us billions of dollars. So if you can, please subscribe to our Patreon. We're all paying for this on our own right now. Yes. Creator interviews, movie reviews coming up. So much extra content. So yes, please subscribe to the Patreon if you can, or pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. But everything is at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And also, if you want to support an educator, pick up Dick Grace and Boy Wonder. Again, great Christmas gifts, great any time of the year gift. Great winter reading, great summer reading by the pool, all of it. So pick up Dick Grace and Boy Wonder on Amazon. I know you all know how to get to Amazon. All right. That's all the plugs. All right. So thank you for joining us, kids. Again, next week, Robin and Bat. The way it should always be, Robin and Batman. 3-issue miniseries. And then 2 weeks, Nightwing, The Target. And then 3 weeks in the Nightwing 80-page giant. So yeah, Robin and Batman coming up, and then the two weeks after that, oversized issues. Yep. So yes, Nightwing's big. Hopefully we get more Nightwing in the new year. Which I believe we will. All right, kids. So again, join us next week. Same wing time.
Same wing channel.
Nightwing News. Catch your dog.